my name is Gabriel and I'm majoring in psychology, but my goal is to become a therapist or a counselor in my future. Today I will be focusing on the psychological issues that the media might or might not produce on people given the media state as of right now, where it can be seen as shady, where we must research the information for ourselves. First off, media is the means of general communication, information, or entertainment that we created in our society, which I will be focusing on the entertainment aspect in this video. A counter argument that I would like to bring up is that many people may not like to believe media may have negative effects on a person's well-being, but instead see it as a being dramatic. This may actually be true, but this can also be the case of the viewer or targeted audience leaning onto their own biases because they're being manipulated by the content since it appeals to them and may even tempt them like a guilty pleasure. A personal example of this is when I was back in elementary, I stayed up past Cartoon Network with its audience demographic being mainly kids, and noticed past 8 o'clock in the afternoon, it automatically changed to Adult Swim. It contained adult-themed content with shows presented to us like King of the Hill, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and Family Guy. I knew I wasn't supposed to watch it, yet I still viewed it with my older brother at the time. But it was almost like Warner Brothers wanted kids to view it. The reason I make this statement is because everything was on the same channel, since Warner Brothers owns both properties and can easily make a whole other channel containing the other half. Now, they want to move Adult Swim an hour early, starting on May 1st, which would be at 7 o'clock in the afternoon. And I know for sure kids are not going to bed or change the channel at that time. I think it is just to promote trending and popular shows from the 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. time frames, since they may know kids are going to view it regardless and do not really care about the viewer's behavior, since they may adopt the character's mannerisms. I would have to give the counter argument some credibility because every little thing affects us in our everyday life, with examples of listening to music on the ride to school, reading a graphic novel, working with a wide variety of customers, and etc. This can be identified as the behavioral personality theory, or simply known as behaviorism, which is the study of human behavior and how it can correlate the person's environment. And just like media, it is almost inescapable because we always see or hear about it from someone or somewhere. I'll give some support to the counter argument based off of Dr. Christopher Ferguson's study. In his study, he randomized 103 young adults to not play a video game without violence, a violent video game where they played the good guy, and a violent video game where they played as the bad guy. He found out that kids who were favored violent video games had fewer hostile feelings during the frustration task, which can be described as a test to the young adults where they would be more likely to be aggressive given the circumstances. The study showed that there was no link between behavior and violent video games. I believe if anything is that the gaming can be correlated more with depression or be a symptom of it. Players that are addicted to games, just like any other addiction, can be seen as the narrowing of the things that bring you pleasure. What I mean by this is that excessive playing can cause the achievement of dopamine released by this action instead of actions such as losing interest in school, relationships, fitness, and other activities that bring you satisfaction. Once the player finally stops getting dopamine activity by playing, they may fall into a serious depression. Sure, a person may not notice the changes right away, but if they continue the path that they're on, they may adopt these customs. We should take notice that certain forms of media can cause more harm than other medias to certain people depending on the person's personal factors. In conclusion, media can affect our own mentality even if we deny it. I think the key to somewhat solve this problem is to be self-aware, for we can separate evil and the good, for we can make our own choices from there. All I have to say now is to enjoy playing games, watching movies and shows, go on social media, but you should always remind yourself to keep a good sense of moderation.